Hi guys, let's knit a headband. It's a great quick knit. Let's get started. Okay, so today we're making this knit headband. It has rib on either side and then like a waffle stitch in the middle. It's super easy. I'll show you how. We're going to be using today a size 6, and we're using a 16-inch circular needle. I have these on hand for hats and the leg warmers I think I use them for also. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm using some scraps of leftover sock yarn. This one is from Selene, and then I believe this one is Tofutsies, just a scrap that I had left over in my stash. And I'm going to be holding them with double-stranded, so one of each color. Okay, so this is a super easy, quick gift knit. And I'm going to go ahead and cast on 88 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a slip knot. And I'm going to cast it on really loosely so that the edge of our headband isn't super tight, so that it's nice and loose. Okay, we'll go ahead and cast on 88 stitches with a long tail cast on. And I'll catch back up with you when I've got the 88 stitches cast on. Okay, we've got our 88 stitches cast on, and then we just want to make sure that the stitches aren't twisted on there. So we'll go ahead and point all of them the same direction, like pointed down, just like that. Just make sure you don't have a big twist in there. So we'll go ahead and check that. And it looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and move the yarn through just kind of like that. So I'm holding it off the top. I'm going to go ahead and place a stitch marker just to signify the beginning of the round, so I know when I hit the beginning of the round. And I'm going to go ahead and knit 2. So, and I'm going to hold both the tail and then the yarn that's attached to the balls together, just for the first few stitches so that I can knit in the ends instead of weaving in the ends at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and knit 2. And then bring the yarn to the front and then purl 2. And then bring the yarn to the back and knit 2. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and drop that tail. Okay, so this is the tail. I'm going to go ahead and drop that yarn and not hold it any longer. And then just continue knitting with the yarn that's attached to the 2 balls. So I've done 2 knits, 2 purls, 2 knits, and I'm making the ribbing. So I'm just going to go back and forth doing 2 knits and 2 purls all the way around. And we're making this ribbing right here so that it's stretchy. All right, I will meet back up with you when I get all the way around to the marker so you can see what I do at that point. Okay, I'm coming around to the end of the row at where the beginning of the row meets up, and I'm going to just, so I did my knit 2 right here, so I'm doing my knit 2, purl 2 all the way around, and then I'm going to do my purl 2 for the very last 2 stitches in the round, and then I'll move my yarn to the back. Oops, move my yarn to the back just like that. I will slip my marker, and then I will do my first knit 2. So I'll just continue around like this, and these first few stitches have quite a few little strands in there because we were holding that tail double, so just continue on. So, and move the yarn to the front, do the 2 purls, and then move the yarn to the back, and then do the 2 knits. We've moved along from where we were holding our tail. So we've knit and purled past that. So now we're just continuing on doing 2 purls and 2 knits, making our ribbing for our headband. So I will catch back up with you when I have my ribbing knit. Okay, so I've gone ahead and knit 2, purl 2, finish the ribbing for 10 rounds. So if we count right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. So now we're going on to doing the waffle portion of the headband. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to, when we hit the marker, we're going to knit all the way around. So just knit every stitch. All right, I'll meet back up with you when I get that done. Okay, so now what we've done is we had our ribbing, we had our 10 rows of ribbing, then we had our, I did 3 rounds of knit every stitch. And now I'm back at my marker, so I'm going to go ahead and slip my marker. And then this next round, so after I've knit every stitch for the 3 rounds, you can kind of see where it's turned into just knit right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the knit 2, purl 2, just like we did in the ribbing. Knit 2, move the yarn to the front, and purl 2. And then move the yarn to the back and knit 2 and move the yarn to the front and purl 2. And now we're going to do this knit 2, purl 2 for 2 rows. And I will meet you back here and we'll go from there. Okay, so now what I've done is I did the ribbing, I did the 3 knit rows. Hopefully you can see that. Then I did the knit 2, purl 2, and I did the knit 2, purl 2 in the same rows that had, like, this had knitting down below as the knit 2, and I did that same knit 2 right up there. So I did knit 2, purl 2, so it's kind of like 2 rows of that ribbing that we did at the beginning. I went ahead and did 2 rows of that right here after our plain 3 rows and our plain knitting. And I am on to knitting for the next 3 rows. Just knitting every stitch. So we're making our waffle. So this is like the the little holes in the Eggo waffle is right here, and then these are the bumps. So it kind of looks like this. So we're going to go ahead and do that until we get to the top of here. So we do the knit 3 rows, the ribbing, that same ribbing as we did at the bottom. We're doing 2 rows of the rib. We're doing knit 3 rows, 2 rows of the rib, and then knit 3 rows, and then back to our ribbing. So I will meet back up with you when I have got my little waffle pattern done down here. So I'll go ahead and I'm continuing on doing my knit 3 rows, and I'll meet back up with you. Okay, so now that I have knit the last 3 rows, I'm going to go ahead and do that ribbing again for 2 more rows. So starting with the knit 2, then purl 2, okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just continue all the way around for 2 rows doing the knit 2, purl 2, and I will meet back up with you. So now we are back and we have just finished our knit 2, purl 2 row. You can see that. And we're going to go ahead and knit 3 more rows. So we'll go ahead and do that. The knit 3 rows, just knitting each stitch. Okay, so now we're done with our 3 knit rows, and we are going to go back into ribbing again, and we're going to rib 10 rows. Knit 2, move the yarn to the front, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. Okay, and we're going to keep going like that, doing the knit 2, purl 2, ribbing for the next 10 rounds. And I will meet back up with you when I get done with that. Okay, so then now I've done my ribbing for 10 more rows, and I'm going to go ahead and bind off. I'm going to slip my marker. Actually, you know what? I can just get rid of my marker. I'm going to go ahead and knit 2 and then slip 1 over the other and then purl, and I'm going to bind off in pattern and then slip this one over the one I just purled and then purl. And I'm doing it loosely so that it's not tight, so that it is stretchy when I put it on. And then knit. And this one's a knit stitch. So I'm doing just the same stitch that we did in the last round. So if it's a purl, then I purl it. If it's a knit, then I knit it. And then I slip it, slip the one previous to it over the one I just did. And that's binding off. Bring the yarn to the front, do another purl. This one's a knit. Slip this one over one I just did. This one's a knit, and just be really loose with the stitches so that it will stretch. This one's a purl. This one's a purl. Okay, so you see what I'm doing. So this is binding off, and this is what it looks like. I will catch back up with you when I get to the end. Okay, so my last one was a purl. I bring the yarn to the front, I purl it like that. Then I bring the last stitch over the first stitch, just like that. Then I have one big loop right here. I'm going to go ahead and get out some scissors. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then get out a needle. Oh, there's a needle right there. Oh my gosh, it's big. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and weave in that end. I'm going to go ahead and weave it in on the back. And I'll meet back up with you when I'm done weaving in the end on the other side as well. Okay, so now we're done with the headband. This one is 88 stitches for a cast on. This one is 80 stitches for a cast on. This would be for someone with a smaller head if you wanted to do that. And you can do the same exact process with 80 stitches as with 88. I'm going to go ahead and measure them for you just so you can get a rough idea of what it measures out as. And it appears that it is a little over 7 inches across, 7 1/4 possibly for this one with the 88 stitches. And then this one is 6 1/2. And then from front to back, let's see, this one is 3 3/4. Wait, oops, no, 4. This one is 4. The 88 stitch one measures 4 inches. And same, this was my test one. And I had decided that I thought the 88 stitch one would fit more people's heads. So I went ahead and went with that one. But this is a smaller one. If you're doing for a child or someone with a smaller head, you might want to try the 80 stitch version. So I'm going to go ahead and try this on so you can check it out. And we're done. Thanks. Bye. Okay, this is how it came out. This is our headband. It covers your ears. If you were having a ponytail day, you could wear it, or your hair in a bun or something. It would be perfect. So this is how it turned out. I love it. Thanks for watching. Bye.